night is still young, or at least
He's actually very good. I've seen him on the Food Network. Yeah.
He's not really naked, is he? I guess.
No. It's like clean eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guess I was watching the wrong channel.
Oh, Dale, you can't back yourself out of that one, so let me help you. Yeah, you just did, and now it's all weather. Let's go there. All right. We have a couple of stories we want to share with you. First of all, if you were watching yesterday any of the newscasts, I showed you the big, heavy cluster of thunderstorms down in the southern U.S. Well, this is what it looked like in Albany, Georgia. They were hammered with heavy rain, several inches for parts of that state. And of course, those storms have moved off to the east, but man, they got it yesterday. And then on the complete opposite coast in the Pacific Northwest, April snow as much as 2 feet over some of the passes in Washington. And let me show you what that looks like on the West Coast radar. Yeah, they're getting all the action to the north, but we may see a little bit tomorrow in our own Sierra backyard. So right in here, you can see into Washington, a little bit of Oregon. They have that precipitation. And then here at home, we had a lot of wind today. And the reason we had the wind, high pressure out here shifting off to the east, and then the jet stream starting to take a big dip right in here. Well, as it dips, that's a trough of low pressure, high moves to the east, the combination giving us that strong north-northwest wind. Picture this, recycling an old TV set not only conserves natural resources and reduces waste, it just looks good and feels better. Hi, I'm News 10 Microcast meteorologist Patty Souza.
And I'm Guy Ferris with Sacramento and Company on News 10. Join us as we celebrate Earth Day all week with a free e-waste recycle collection. Beginning April 20th, we'll be at 3 easy locations all day to recycle your electronics, starting with Arco Arena on Monday, April 20th. Wednesday, we'll be at IKEA, and Friday, we'll be at the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
We're talking about 15 to 20 degrees cooler tomorrow compared to today. Yeah.
Big difference.
Dale's going to have his wool tie on.
It's those meandering lows out there in the Pacific, just kind of wandering around without a jet stream to, send them off.
That's exactly what we're seeing off the coast. Let's go ahead.
Paying attention at 5 o'clock.
I know, Dale. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You weren't sleeping. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek at our weather highlights. And we're going to start in the Sierra because, of course, we just came out of those snow pictures. But a lot of sun across the Tahoe Basin. But snow levels tomorrow are going to start out around 6,500 to 7,000 feet. This is going to be in the afternoon. And then tomorrow night, Tuesday night and Wednesday, snow could drop as low as about 4,000 feet. And that would include places like, say, Pollock Pines up Highway 50, but just a gorgeous day. And you can't even tell just by looking at this picture in Stockton or this picture in Sacramento. There's a weather system approaching, although we are starting to see some of that high cloud cover rolling in ahead of 84 degrees in Modesto today. These numbers are way above normal for this time of year. 82 in Marysville, 59 in Tahoe. Again, all those numbers tumbling by tomorrow thanks to this low cut off from the jet stream. It's just kind of doing its little thing out there, meandering. Well, it should start to meander more toward the coast tomorrow. You'll see a lot of clouds tonight and early tomorrow, but notice microcast at 7 a.m. We're still rain-free. But then by about midday, rain starts to come over the coastal mountains. By about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll see plenty of showers inland and, of course, the snow falling in the Sierra. It's important to note when you start to see the yellow and the orange in here, that indicates the threat of thunderstorms. So it's not just going to be rain. I expect we're going to see some activity, maybe some lightning strikes on microcast Doppler. And then right on through Tuesday night into Wednesday, we'll continue to see snow in the Sierra and hit and miss showers in the valley. Probably see a couple tenths of an inch of rain out of this system for the valley, and anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of snow possible at the highest elevations in the Sierra. So it's just a little fresher of snow and some rain to kind of water the plants and knock some of the pollen out of the air. That'll be a good thing. 49 overnight in Sacramento. Our temperature is very mild tonight because we're going to see a lot of clouds coming in, blanketing the area and kind of insulating us. And then tomorrow, the high, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, it is really going to be noticeable. 63 degrees. And again, today we had highs in the 80s. So big changes. I think you'll feel that one the most. 61 in Angels Camp. And here's your 7-day forecast. So good chances of rain later tomorrow night, Wednesday, and then just a little unsettled Thursday and Friday. And I think right now Easter is going to be dry with highs in the upper 60s. But as we head all the way through Friday, it's going to be pretty chilly, relatively speaking. And then looking at the Sierra, kind of a rain-snow mix to start. Tomorrow, then tomorrow night, Wednesday, snow levels really coming down around 4,000 feet. And the chances of snow continue through Saturday. So a nice little fresher in the mountains.
We haven't seen a stretch like that in a while where we've had 3 or 4 days of the possibility of rain.
I know. I'm just excited we have anything coming in.
Yeah. All right, Patty.
Still need.
And tomorrow's going to feel a lot different. We're looking at cold and windy conditions Friday. It's already picking up outside with increasing clouds. You can see off in the distance the camera's moving, and we have clouds off to the north. Winds are blowing 20 to 25 miles per hour in Stockton this evening, and the skies are getting a little bit dark in the Sierra. We have a few showers on the way. Today we had 52 in South Lake Tahoe and 71 in Sacramento. All of those numbers going to be a whole lot lower tomorrow. We'll have your forecast coming up. Let's start outside this evening with a pleasant thought, a pleasant picture. And this is a spring crocus just peeking through a little bit of snow sent in by Elizabeth Butterfield. Look at the beautiful violet color there of that little flower.
All right, there's a lot of people having a bad hair day as well.
Probably me, because I was just standing out on Broadway getting blown all over the place.
But you were looking good.
You were.
Just sitting there smiling, waiting for my moment to talk about the weather. No, actually, we have some video we want to share with you here locally of wind, and that's definitely the big story. And we were talking about the fact that wind would be the big story here last night, so we knew this was going to happen, but tomorrow's forecast is going to be pretty nice as well.
He's a good guy.
I love him,
nice.
and I love his music, and I just love seeing stories like this that involve him.
You know, he's got some other business interests going too, so I mean, he's coming back. I mean, he's working his way through it, so good for him.
Good man. He deserves the best. Yeah. All right. Pollen counts. Remember yesterday we were talking about the pollen, how it was so high. Oh, the rain is going to be great. It's going to help pollen count, maybe knock it out of the air. No. Pollen counts are still high, Dale. As a matter of fact, we have some new trees to tell you about. We've had the oak, but the pine and sycamore, they have made an arrival at the top end of the pollen for the trees. So allergy season is in full swing. All right, News 10 microcast Doppler. I had it to stop down earlier to show you kind of where those individual little areas of rain were, but really there's not much left, just a few little scattered showers, a couple little dots in the San Joaquin Valley. This is really the end of storm number 1. And there is storm number 1. Goodbye, storm number 1. Now we're watching, oh, look at this fast mover. Storm number 2 approaching the west coast at this time. As we look at microcast, and this is what we call storm strength. This particular map, I love it because it'll tell me how strong the storm's going to be, and it gives me the timing of when it'll be coming in. And you can see the little legend here, weak to moderate. So anything from yellow, orange to red indicates it's going to be a weak to moderate storm. The one that just came through was moderate. It wasn't too terribly strong. So the first one leaves the region. Here comes the next storm. You can see the dip in the jet stream right in there. It'll be coming in, bringing the energy with it, not just to northern California, but the entire state is expected to get some showers as we head through Thursday and on into Friday. But by the weekend, that storm moves away, and then we have a dry forecast just in time for Easter, the Easter Bunny, and all the church services. So overnight, showers pretty much gone from the area, and then watch the timestamp. About late morning, early afternoon, say 2 o'clock, snow returns to the Sierra, hit and miss showers in the valley, and then the rain could get heavy, and we could see thunderstorms through the evening hours till about 9, 10 o'clock, and then right on into Friday. Scattered showers start to taper by the afternoon. Even in the late morning, we'll still have a little bit of rain. But all in all, I think you'll like my extended forecast. So Sacramento tonight, we'll see a low of 46, and then tomorrow expect a high of 62. Skies aren't totally going to clear out tonight. We'll call it partly cloudy. You'll see 66 in Stockton, 54 in Angels Camp, and only 48 in Placerville. There's your 7-day forecast. So pretty good chance of rain developing throughout the day tomorrow night, at least the first half of Friday. Saturday looks good, 72 on Sunday, and that just happens to be the warmest day of the week, Easter Sunday. That's what we'll see in the San Joaquin Valley. And Dale, look at this. We've already had 4 to 8 inches of snow in the Sierra. We're going to add at least a couple more inches Thursday and probably even more on Friday before this whole thing scoots off to the east. So not a bad forecast. All right, check it out. Dale and Christina, take a look. What do you think those are? One guess. Come on.
Those are tomatoes? Or?
Yes.
Yay,
ding, ding,
okay.
ding, ding. Christina Mendonça, she wins a tomato plant. These are actually, this is our nature shot, and these were grown by Bev Stevens in Wilton. And I want you to notice these tomatoes started down here in the windowsill, and they're already up here. So she said she's planting this weekend, and I advise planting whatever you need to plant this weekend in the garden because you're going to have great weather, and then we're going to have some rain to wet those plants Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's good news. 65 in Sacramento right now, 66 in Modesto. It is 35 in Tahoe. We knew it would be colder, and we knew it was going to be windy today. Look at the winds out there, 20 to 30 miles per hour. High temperatures pretty much stayed in the 60s, and we topped out with just 40 in Tahoe briefly. Now we're back to the 30s. I'm going to use our water vapor map to show you the very dry air that's now in place over California with that northwest flow. But right in here, you see that little twist spin? That's the little weather system and cold front that raced through last night that brought all the wind and even brought a little bit of Sierra snow. You can see we're still seeing a little bit of action in Nevada and just a few little snow showers off to, looks like just south of Tahoe. As you check, say, right along 395, close to 395, we're seeing a little bit of that very light snow, but that's all going to be clearing out here in the next couple of hours. So 23-mile-per-hour winds in Sacramento, Marysville, 20 in Modesto. Winds, as we look at microcast, still be blowing around 8 o'clock tonight, but at that point the wind advisory expires for the Central Valley. And then as you see, right on through the early morning hours, we're less than 10 miles per hour, including the foothills. These are wind speeds, by the way, miles per hour. And then by 4:30, a good-looking afternoon. So I think you're really going to like the forecast tomorrow. It's going to be a little warmer and a lot less wind. But it will be cold to start. We're talking about 30s in the foothills, low 40s for much of the valley. So once the wind comes down, those temperatures are going to plummet. Then tomorrow we'll see highs a little bit warmer, up around 68 in Sacramento, low 60s for many of the foothill locations. Later Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, we see those chances of rain kicking in with a big cool down early next week. Highs hovering right around 60 degrees for much of the Central Valley. And a pretty good chance of rain Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday in the San Joaquin Valley. And then a look at the Sierra. Chance of snow comes in, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to add to our spring skiing. Back to you.
All right, Patty, thanks.
Thank you.